New year, new you. I'm Greg Tepper. That's Greg Powers. This is This Week
in Cruton.
So it's This Week in Recruiting with Greg Powers of Next Level Athlete. Follow him on Twitter at GPowerScout. Follow Next Level Athlete on Twitter at Next Level D1. See his fine work at TexasFootball.com/recruiting. And, of course, this is brought to you by our good chicken friends at Chicken Express. Chicken Express, I got to be honest, there's usually not anything left whenever I order Chicken Express. But if there was, I bet I could reheat it in an air fryer.
You could. Although I'm a big rolls in the microwave guy, I don't know that you would want to put a roll in the air fryer. That thing would just kind of like get crispy.
Yeah, it's true.
So,
boy,
the tendies would be great though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
through.
Mott sticks.
Oh, you could finally reheat okra, I bet.
Oh, you
I
can.
love
bet,
okra.
because you know what? Here's the thing.
Okra gets squishy in the
you're
microwave.
right, because the Chicken Express okra is exceptional, but you got to eat it within the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, well, and that's any okra. Okra
That's
is
any okra,
because when the breading gets squishy, okra's already squishy. Any good fried okra is not crispy on the inside. So,
Yeah, that's it.
Oh wow. Okay. We're figuring
broke
things
the code.
out.
Anyway,
We did it, guys.
Love you, Chicken Express. This week in recruiting.
It's always good.
This week in recruiting with Greg Powers, Next Level Athlete. Let's start with our prospect on the rise. We're going to Lake Travis to talk about their soon-to-be senior outside linebacker, Marcus Boswell. Marcus Boswell picked up a pair of in-state offers last week from UTSA and Texas State and was re-offered by Deion Sanders at Colorado this week. This is a guy who is going to be at the Next Level Athlete Texas Top 100 Showcase in Houston this Saturday, so you will be up close and personal with Mr. Boswell.
You know what? Credit to Lake Travis's. Look at this highlight tape quality.
Mm-hmm.
It's like HD quality.
This is good. It's like
pretty cool.
1080p.
Yeah, Boswell was a guy who came to the camp last year when I invited him. He was playing like wide receiver, linebacker, doing some different things. I think he camped last year as a wide receiver. He was still growing into his frame, and didn't 100% know what was going to be his calling card yet. Well, this guy stepped into what that calling card is going to be on the field this year. Very quick off the edge, gets to the football in a hurry. And things are just starting to take off for Marcus Boswell down at Lake Travis because he plays, they've got a pretty good defense usually year over year. And he's going to get a chance to showcase those skill sets. He brings something to the table because he can cover a little bit. He can tackle well. At 6'1", 200, new age style linebacker. These are the type of guys these spread offenses hate. So that's why he's going to catch a whole lot of attention, and I'm glad that we got to highlight him early on before he had 15 offers.
He's going to be a guy that I know you're interested to get some eyes on down there at the Next Level Athlete Texas Top 100 Showcase in Houston coming up here this Saturday. So keep an eye on him, Marcus Boswell, linebacker there from Lake Travis. Let's move on to our commit of the week. Perhaps one of the very last commits of the week in the class of 2023 as we bid farewell to a historic class. At the All-American Bowl, the Under Armour All-American Bowl, is that right?
He was at the All-American Game.
All-American Game there in San Antonio on Saturday.
All-American Bowl, yeah. All-American Bowl.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Next. Isn't there a next in there
That's
somewhere?
the Under Armour Next All-America Game. This one was at the All-American Bowl in San Antonio.
Temple's 2023 wide receiver, Mikael Harrison Pilot, has committed to Houston.
Go Cougs.
Cougs. Haulin, the number 28 prospect in the DCTF Hot 100, the number 8 wide receiver in the state. Just simple question for you, Gregory. Is this the number 1 signee for the Cougars in 2023?
He is the highest rated signee in this class, and I think that he has a chance to be a early contributor. Why I believe that is he was a 4-year varsity starter for Scott Stewart, playing some different positions, but as he's matured within that Temple program, he's become a very technique sound wide receiver. He's a guy who kind of does a little bit of everything really well. Runs great routes, has great hands, has the frame to overpower smaller defensive backs, understands how to get open. And he's a coach's son. You know, his father, Chris Pilot, played at Houston, was a linebacker there, and he's a coach on Temple's staff as well. So he's been well coached, you know, from the jump. And I think that'll give him a competitive advantage as he competes against other signees and transfer guys who are going to be coming into that program for early PT. So I really love this pickup for Houston. They beat out TCU, but as you guys may recall, he's one of the most heavily offered prospects in the country. I think he ended up with maybe 48 total scholarship offers. So he had a lot of, you know, big-time colleges coming after him, including schools like Texas and Oklahoma. So this is a huge get for Dana Holgorsen. He did it on national television, which is a feather in your cap for your program to be able to see, you know, a 4-star recruit pick your team on national TV. So that's pretty cool in and of itself. But just the whole package here. Off the field, great kid, great family, and a great teammate. So not only does he bring it on the field, he has what, you know, a lot of people are going to be happy with off of the field as well.
He's a big-time playmaker heading to the Cougs as Houston hauls in the services of Temple wide receiver Mikael Harrison Pilot. We're Texas Football Today. We're here every weekday at noon on TexasFootball.com talking football in the Lone Star State. This is This Week in Recruiting. We'll continue with the Underclassman of the Week. Our Underclassman of the Week is Duncanville, soon-to-be sophomore. No, soon-to-be junior. He's a sophomore now. Soon-to-be junior wide receiver DeCorian Moore, class of 2025. The reason we bring him up is that he has been named the very first, the inaugural DCTF 5-star prospect for the class of 2025. He's already got 29 scholarship offers. Greg Powers, of all the players in the class of 2025, this is the one that you have given that 5-star rating to first. Why DeCorian Moore?
I think he's a easy selection because I think he's a 5-star lock. 5'11", 170. Like Mikael Harrison Pilot, who we were just talking about, DeCorian Moore is a guy who just gets it on the field. The thing that really sold me on him this season was what he does when the football's not in his hands. He is a tremendous blocker. He runs every route like they're throwing him the football. And, you know, that gives teams – I mean, you have to cover him. You think the play's going that way every single time. He takes no plays off. He's got that dog in him, as they like to say. You know what I mean? He's got that dog in him. I love DeCorian Moore. I think he's going to grow a little bit too. He's long-armed, and he's really physically impressive. For 5'11", 170, that really doesn't tell the whole story. And he is a blazer. He's a guy who runs a sub-11 100-meter dash. You know, he's in that 4.3, 4.4, 40 range. And he led Duncanville to a state championship this year.
Sure
and, reflecting back on the season, right? Reflecting back on the season a little bit here.
I remember that.
Looking back at the numbers, Duncanville really transitioned into a team that was able to throw the football down the stretch. And I think that's really what changed this team from the prior teams that came up a little bit short. This was a team that could do it both, and the North Shore defense in that championship game had to respect what they could do deep in the vertical passing game, and a big reason was DeCorian Moore. And we saw him make a huge catch in that game. As a matter of fact, one of the key moments may have been his punt in that state championship game where he pinned North Shore down on the 1-yard line. I think that was like one of the hugest plays. So just a guy who can make plays and factor in all phases of the game.
Yeah, absolutely right. And he's a playmaker that we really enjoyed watching over the course of the season, and he is now the first DCTF 5-star in the class of 2025. Big time.
Congrats to DeCorian Moore.
Let's round it all out with our recruit of the week. Our recruit of the week is Katie Pato, defensive end Logan Thomas. I am shocked. It's a Katie Pato defensive end.
Have they had one before?
He was named the MVP at the All-American Bowl National Combine after a dominating performance, and teams have started to pay attention to that. He picked up offers from Houston, North Texas, and Notre Dame. Since that happened, he's already got a handful of offers from places like Houston, SMU, and Sam Houston, SMU and Texas Tech. Logan Thomas, next man up there for the Pato Panthers.
Yeah, and I think they're going to rely on him a lot. That's a defensive front that has to replace a lot of key characters, right? You had David Hicks Jr., who's moving on, the number one player in the 2023 DCTF Hot 100. Jari Anderson moving on to college. So, Logan Thomas is going to be a key figure there. And he brings something a little bit different to the table than those two guys. Like David Hicks can get after the quarterback. I mean,
he seems okay.
We've seen him. But this guy's like a pure edge rusher to me. And that's what really makes him special. He's a guy who can pin his ears back, get after the quarterback, and he's only going to get better as he matures. And you can even see him, standing up at linebacker and making some plays at times as well for Katy Paetow. But I like him as a true hand-in-the-dirt defensive end as he grows and matures within his frame. And at the next level, I think that's where colleges are probably going to kind of target him. Another one of these guys in that 2024 class who is just starting to scratch the surface of their potential. He could have very easily been the underclassman of the week this week or the prospect on the rise, but I wanted to make him the recruit of the week because he did get honored as being the MVP. That's a pretty prestigious event.
Yes.
The All-American Combine's been around for a really long time. I mean, it used to be the Army All-American Combine, so it's still the same event. Right, so it just lost the Army in front of it. But a lot of top players from across the country come to that combine, not just players from Texas. So he was able to win the MVP award over the rest of the nation.
He is a star, and he's the next big thing there at Katy Paetow. Our always big thing next after that.
I like that one as much. Okay.
Okay. Our small thing is Greg Powers, the Next Level Athlete. Follow him on Twitter at GPowersScout. Follow Next Level Athlete on Twitter. Next Level D1, see his fine work at TexasFootball.com/recruiting. Stick around because you and I are going to have a debate.
Let's do it.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you would like more and to be notified when they come out, go ahead and click that subscribe button right down there. You can also watch Texas Football Today every day live at noon on TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, and right here on YouTube. For more of the best coverage of Texas football in the Lone Star State, go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe.